He is risen. He is risen indeed. Welcome to Easter Sunday as we worship together in a different way. We can't all be in one place, but we can worship together. This is maybe a good time to remember that when the church was brand new, they worshiped in homes. That's what you did. You worshiped in a home. So, well, we've just kind of returned to the old days. You know, this past week, in preparation for today, I've been looking at all four of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and kind of, comparing what one says happened that Easter Sunday. And it's really interesting to see there are differences. Who goes to the tomb, who runs, and similarities too. All four say linen. He was wrapped in linen cloth. And little details like that are just so fun to see. And to me, almost the more quirky references really bring out the credibility, the reality that something happened, something huge. But this Easter, we're looking at Matthew. And so Matthew has his own presentation of what happened on Easter Sunday, and a little bit different. Mary Magdalene and another Mary go to the tomb. Doesn't say they're going to, put spices on his body. The other Gospels mention that that's what they were there to do, was to anoint and prepare his body, because on Friday they had been such a rush to get Jesus buried before the Sabbath. Sabbath started, the new day started at sundown. Jesus died at 3, so there was just a little window to accomplish the burial. So now they're coming to meditate, to just take in where everything had led to. I know that with family members' graves, I'll go and I'll just be quiet. Sometimes I sit in the grass and run my fingers through the grass as I remember the people I love. So maybe they were doing this kind of thing. So it starts off really gently. Bam! In Matthew, boom! Earthquake. Bright light. Angel rolls back the stone and then sits on it. I love that. The angel's kind of cocky in Matthew. Rolls back the stone. He's bright as lightning, it says. Bright white. Sits on the stone, tells him the facts, he's not here. And then the angel says, well, I told you. Oh, I love it. Then Matthew does say, as they're heading back, they meet Jesus. Wow. I mean, they had seen him die. Really dead, not pretend. Sword in his side, dead. They'd seen it. It was real. Now they were seeing him alive. I mean, it just must have blown them away. And it's maybe kind of strange, but fear was part of that, seeing Jesus alive. Yeah. And so, you don't need to be afraid, was the message back from Jesus. That stunning realization that he was really dead and now he's really alive changed everything. Certainly changed their lives from that moment on. This truly was, here we have the All-American Hinge. The realization that death was not the end was a hinge for all of human history. Things could never be the same once you either see or realize death is not the end, and that God wanted to be known in this person, Jesus, who was so gracious, so strong, so courageous. And so we know that since the seal of approval, so to speak, with the resurrection of Jesus, we now know that this world is a different place. Nothing's going to be the same. Now, I've been fortunate in my own life. I have been able to go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. And I've been able to go to the place, it's on the inside of the church, where in this one church, it's a huge church, but they have what is believed to be the stone on which the cross was set. They have a slab where bodies were prepared. And then a little bit over and down, they have the resting place of Jesus, the place where the tomb, the original tomb, was. I've seen it. I had to wait a long time. Crowds were massive, but I was allowed to, as everyone was, to go into, put my hands on the sarcophagus, the marble place for the body to be laid down. National Geographic did a special, and they were allowed to look at it, examine it, and then underneath there are the remnants of maybe the original. I'll have to watch that again, but yeah, stunning. So I've been there. But I'm telling you the truth. The experience of the risen Christ, the experience of faith in this world is just as real back here in America, in the Midwest, as it was in that moment when I was over in Jerusalem. Yes, it's real right here. We can have that hinge experience where life becomes new. There's hope. We can have that experience here. And once you have realized that, and you look at everything kind of in a new way, boy, I've been noticing and give thanks for how kind people are being to each other. In my area anyway, I hope they are in yours. Going out for bike rides. Oh man, when this thing first got going, it was like a ghost town. But now, holy cow, I have to watch out because there's so many people riding bikes. There are couples walking, strollers, moms with strollers. It's just amazing to see everybody out and the greetings people are giving to each other. I know we're not all saying God bless you, although some have. But just you give thanks. You give thanks wherever you see evidence of new life, because you know who's orchestrating all redemption, all renewal. Yeah, so it's here. It's now. And that's cool. I did want to tell you a story. This is from my own experience. So here it is. About 20 years ago, I did a wedding in my old North Omaha church, Trinity Lutheran. And Trinity Lutheran is one of these grand old fortress-like churches. And up in the ceiling, there are these beams, big, huge beams that one goes horizontal and then other ones go up, and it helps hold the roof up, you know. So strong beams. So anyway, the bride wanted to have a wedding on a certain day. And then there was news that her grandfather had developed cancer. And she really wanted her grandfather to be at the wedding. And so they moved the date of the wedding dramatically closer so that he could go to the wedding. And it was very soon before the wedding when her grandfather died. You know, broke her heart. And so the wedding, it had a little bit of, a little touch of sadness because, you know, the bride was really hurting that her grandfather was not able to be there. Okay, the wedding happened. And then it was, you know, a formal occasion. And so ushers were coming to a row and then giving the nod, and people in that pew would, you know, come out, all very formal, very tasteful. And this one mom, when she came out to the aisle, and it was her turn to walk to the back of the church and greet the couple, her toddler would not come, and she's yanking on the kid's arm eventually. Come on, it's time to get going. Because everybody's looking too. So the mom felt self-conscious. Well, the kid is pointing up. Well, the mom was apologetic even to others because, you know, her kid wouldn't come down the aisle. So we're at the reception afterwards, and she gets her food. She goes and she sits down at a table and she's talking, as it turns out, with another mom. And that mom's kid had done the same thing. Okay, so we're talking toddlers, you know, who had not coordinated stories. And you can probably guess what the toddlers had seen. Up there on those beams sat Grandpa at the wedding. Oh, man. Now, I don't know how you explain it, but to me it was very real. It was an experience in my life of the other world where heaven and earth intersect. Heaven is God's place, earth, our place, but they overlap. They overlap. Well, I just wanted to share a story of resurrection, of new life, amazing new life. I wanted to share a story with you this morning. And so we come to the end here of our worship. I hope today's a good day for you. It's snowing outside, but it's warm in here. At least I hope so for all of us. Happy Easter. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Hopefully you have received an email that has the list of people that we're praying for this week. I ask for a favor. Could you pray for an old friend of mine named Steve? Steve's a great guy, and he's scheduled for surgery tomorrow. And I think he could use some prayers. He's down in South Florida. Yeah, if you could pray for Steve, I'd really, really appreciate it. I'm going to be having this week, every day, a children's message. It's called For Kids, and I'll have that up by 5 p.m. each day. And also I'll have something for adults on Wednesday, and of course, Sunday worship. So peace be with you. Happy Easter. He is risen. He is risen indeed.